Hello, and welcome back to the very first Living Legend tournament brought to you by Arcane Games and Events. I'm Colin Honigman.
I'm Craig Pollock.
We're ready. I'm so ready. I've just been watching the first round games, and it's
It's
the
it's
degenerate format
madness.
I was hoping it would be. So
Yeah.
I think everything is just up for grabs right now. Nobody's sure of what's the best. Apparently, Lexi's very good still, which,
Yeah. I walked out there and I heard a mix of like this is the best thing ever and this is the worst thing
I
ever.
think it
So
depends who won
yeah.
round
Which
one.
side of it you were on?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Five players who lost, it's still bad
Yeah.
format. Everyone else who won, they're having a
Yeah.
good time. But I don't know. If everything's broken, then it
Right.
seems fun.
Right.
So
No, I'm here for it.
hell yeah. Well, I think we've got our next match coming up. We've got Viserai, Viserai, Chris Iaali, Adam Fiffles. It's a friendly fire game right here.
This is these guys I believe are on the exact same list.
Yep.
I'm sure they
Oh.
built this list
Adam's got a heart of finding
together. So maybe Adam changed at the last minute, but
slipped it in there, but he's running the scepter, so does that prevent? No, that one doesn't prevent life gain, does it? I
the,
forget what the one.
these guys work together to make fab decks. They play test together. They travel together, and now they get to beat each other up.
He's running the Tessin, and we've got the Arcane Lantern. Interesting.
Okay, so we got a little bit of,
Oh yeah.
and look at yeah. So Adam's on. I guess he's taking a more aggressive approach, right? Since Chris is running the arcane shield and the more defensive arms.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah, very interesting differences in loadout. Chris
yeah,
on the Arc Knight
yeah.
Skullcap, Adam on Crown of Providence. Adam also running the what are they called?
That's the best part about these
Vex
guys.
and Quill.
Even though they probably figured out everything together, then they both went home
Yeah,
and
we're like,
secretly figured out how am I going to beat the other guy and not tell him. And they came to different conclusions.
true competitors for sure.
Yeah, there's no shelter given with these guys.
Yeah, no, I mean they know each other well enough, so I think anything they do here is a calculated move against their opponent. I'm just looking at the Ornate Tessin just because I forgot what that one does. Put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck if you do draw a card. Okay, so yeah, definitely feels like Adam's going a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
I did just see Chris do a 46 damage meet and greet after Scalata plus a Phantasmia, gaining 13 extra rune chance on top of like the 30 he already had, and then playing meet and greet, and just game's over at that point.
It's pretty good.
It was funny to me, but some other people didn't find it as funny.
Yeah, it depends what side of it you're on. This is going to be interesting because I think this is going to be, at least for me, a little bit of a difficult game to know exactly what is happening.
Yep. Well, it looks like Adam played out a Blessing of Occult. He'll make some rune chance starting his next turn. And, Chris just coming out with the Runeblood Barrier.
Yeah.
I love this. This is great. I miss Viserai.
So there is no Rosetta Thorn in Chris's list.
Yeah, I don't think
There's no Rosetta Thorn in
the
either
Scepter
list.
of Pain is their only weapon.
So these, yeah.
Scepter of Pain, of course. 2 resources to deal 1 arcane damage and create a rune chant tone for each damage dealt this way.
Yeah, these guys say, who wants to attack for 2 and 2 when you can attack for 1 and 42?
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling that they're not going very wide with their turns, so they probably wouldn't even get to Rosetta most of the time. So, yeah, I'm curious to see how Adam will play this deck that is very much built around, it seems, the kind of OTK version of Viserai, especially with the new Sonata Phantasmia, which lets you just create a shitload of rune chants, especially when you combine that with Scalata equipment. and just make so many rune chants that your opponent dies immediately. I mean, Chris is already at 9, so
what's interesting here, right, is like this is either going to be one of the most interesting games of the day that we watch or the literal worst. I think we're going to see almost nothing happen,
yeah,
and
yeah, for
then
sure.
and then it's going to be fireworks.
Yeah, I'm curious. I feel like Adam has played Vexing and Ornate Tessin and the Crown simply to draw more cards that make rune chants faster, or he's trying to get to his Phantasmias because they both have 3, so that's like,
Yeah.
3 turns that they can just make a bunch of rune chants.
The part I'm not sure on this is this just a RNG battle of who gets the Mordred Tide turns, who can, like who can do what Chris just did, and like you can see he's trying not to smile at his friend, like a smirk, but you can kind of see it on his face, like yeah. Um, but and like, is there a defense at the end? Is there something you can do if you're behind to make sure you don't die?
Yeah.
Or
So
do we
it
just keep having these dumb turns where
we just make rune chants. I mean, I think it's honestly just going to be a lot of that. It's, I think with Viserai, there's always the notion of sequencing to get the most value out of everything. There is some small kind of gains that you can get making when you make sure you do sequence correctly every single
yeah,
turn. I think with these 2 players, especially, that's not so much of a worry
right,
because
they're probably going to do the exact correct thing every time.
they're just good at this game.
Yeah.
These guys, I am looking at their list a little bit closer. There are some discrepancies. There's mostly the same cards, but
I
different numbers
I'm wondering if that room blood barrier down is where the Heart of Findall came from.
Oh yeah, totally.
Let's see here. We got
Even
24, 30.
2 ninth blades versus 3 ninth blades.
So Adam has one more red
One more
and one more
blue.
blue
So
and two less yellow. So, but the armor suite looks the same.
uh, Chris plays out some more rune chant creating cards and passes. This is so funny.
So, since there's nothing else going on here, it's an interesting thing to think like, we banned Skeleta because it's too strong.
Hmm.
But a lot of those ban announcements talk about like banning things for like unfun play patterns.
Hmm.
And although it's kind of fun when you're Viserai to like shoot 57 rune chants, like I think we're seeing why Skeleta moved from um suspended to banned.
Yeah.
Like this is not riveting flesh and blood,
True.
right? Like I think the game's in a better spot when this is not a optimal strategy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this build, the Viserai, is more interesting when it's paired against something that is trying to do just a ton of damage, and try to, because then we have that race of
Yeah,
can Viserai block out and build rune chance, faster than their opponent can just push through
yeah,
damage. But yeah, it's definitely not thrilling in the mirror. I mean, even when it's not that, it's always it's a very similar gameplay no matter what. Like you're just playing out your rune chant
yeah,
builders and waiting
yeah,
for the cards to come to do your big combo. When you do do the combo, it is very fun. At least like
yeah. No,
when it happens, it's just like, oh shit, like what's gonna go on?
yeah,
When they used to Skeleta into Sonata and just draw like 16 cards. In my luck, I would 2 cards would come to hand and I would do 2 damage and it would be the worst turn ever.
yeah.
Whereas other people would do like 8 and then have like 4 go agains. But it is. It definitely seemed like a good ban. I think in this format, everything is so degenerate that
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. It'll be interesting though, like if both of these guys end up in the finals again, as they're the only two Viserai here.
hmm
Like, I Wait, what we don't want to happen is for this to be the premier deck of the living legend format. Like it can be good, it
Yeah,
can be viable,
yeah.
um,
If
but
it is and they have to ban things in Living Legend format immediately, it would be kind of. I mean, I think they will
yeah, yeah,
eventually
for sure.
because there are things that are just broken that were banned for good reasons, and they don't support the kind of game that Flesh and Blood, you know, wants to be. So even in a format like this, where kind of like everything goes and it's a little more wild, I think there still should be some, you know, semblance of balance or
Right, right, right. You still want it to be an interactive, interesting format. I mean, this is just like,
they're just playing cards and watching each other, number goes up is what we're playing right now. This is
the
basically cryptocurrency the game.
fortunately both of these players play fast.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
could you imagine like if we were sitting here and it was like they're in the tank for 2 minutes and then they're like, I'm gonna make a rune chant.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Rune Blood Incantation and pass. Like, great. That was the only thing you could have done. I am curious. I don't think there is, but I'm curious if there's some interaction.
Adam just missed on 6 cards.
There you go, dude. I'm telling you, man, it happens. I'm curious if there's some interaction of if someone tries to pop off with their big combo, can you stuff it in any way? Or,
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't know if there is, but I'm very
yeah.
interested.
Like what's the rewind of the
Yeah,
mirror, right?
yeah, totally. I don't think there's any. There's no cards
Doesn't
that
look.
really do anything. I guess Warmongers. You can
Yeah, I guess Warmongers would stop them for 1 turn.
just park that in your arsenal and just wait for wait for them to have more rune chance than you. But then they'll
But
just
it's
build more rune chance.
well, it's hard, right? Exactly. You have to, and then you can't go off on your turn. It's not like you can Warmongers, stop their turn, and then
Yeah, that's
open
true.
your
Yeah.
turn because now you're stuck too.
It just prolongs the game. So we're sitting at a healthy 39 to 40 life here.
So Adam's winning technically.
Yeah,
However, he has 13 to Chris's 29.
yeah.
Um,
Chris is really cranking out.
I you can tell by their faces that they both know how this game is going on. This is how you get to the finals of the World Championships. You know how to draw really well and make more rune chance than your opponent. It's really devaluing Chris and how
Uh,
good he is, but this is pretty funny.
that's really funny. Shout out to Josh in the chat, reminding me of that Australian national championship cartoon that someone made, where it was old him reading a book and just Viserai just
Sorry.
drawing rune chants for
Yeah.
5 minutes and then just blowing him up.
Yeah.
That was two, very similar game, but like I
Yeah.
honestly more boring than I think this one, just because
Yeah.
the old him literally just gained life, and then at least this one they're like racing to build their rune
Look at
chants. But
like Adam did a combo there.
yeah, this round is on
He
me.
into Rune Blade card, so you got
Get
a
that
rune check.
extra,
Yeah.
get that extra thing. I haven't. Have we seen Adam play a Mordred tide? I feel like he
No,
hasn't.
Adam's running pretty bad.
He is behind.
And this is Adam's return to Flesh and Blood. So he hasn't been playing for quite some time. And he's back. And he's thinking, why did I come back to do this?
He chose this deck. He could have brought Chain. Apparently, no one brought Chain here, which I think is the funniest outcome that could have happened.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
How is there not a chain?
I don't know. Everyone was either trying to be too cute or just thought Fi or Starvo was better. Um,
I was interested in seeing how many seeds people played
yeah,
because I don't think 9 is the right answer.
I was really excited to see Chain, especially with all the Rune Blade cards that have come out and the Rune Game
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
This could have been really interesting in there. So it's a little disappointing that no one did that. but you know, it looks like Chris is building more rune chants. He's getting another Sonata Phantasmia. I think
Yeah,
he's trying to end the game soon. The question is, will he end the game or just, you know, deplete most of
yeah.
Adam's life?
No, and everybody in the chat's kind of pointing out what the issue with this is. Like, this deck, even if you're doing this strategy against a deck that's trying to attack you, has to maneuver more. But the problem is neither of these players have an alternative strategy to do anything other than just what they're doing. And I think Adam just died.
Yeah, the Sonata Phantasmia taking 3 cards out of your hand is pretty gross. And this is what he did last time. He did a meet and greet, and now we're at 10, 20,
Luckily, Adam
30,
has AB1, so he's good.
40, 54, 56 rune chance. I think we're at 56 rune chance.
That was the best 12 minutes of Flesh and Blood.
Well, at least it was only 12 minutes. An old him game would have gone on for twice as long and been more painful, in my opinion. But, wow. All right. Well,
Well,
Sonata.
we know what we're not going to feature next time.
Yeah. I guess not Sonata.
If we run into this matchup. What a wild.
Chris doesn't even look satisfied. It's just like, there we go. It happened. Well,
They had to literally buy dice, which you can buy here at Collector Legion, where you can also buy singles, accessories, boxes, and anything you need.
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, to get enough rune chants.
Yeah, here at Collector Legion, shout out
Yeah.
to our
So,
sponsor.
so if you're playing Living Legend and you're playing Viserai and you don't have enough dice to make 82 rune chants, go to collectorlegion.com and pick up some dice.
Get some good. You get. Yeah, and also if you subscribe to our YouTube, that will also help you generate rune chants at a speed greater than Adam just did on stream here.
That way you will get to see this video first. You can watch how it's done. You can watch Christopher Iaali, one of the best to ever do it.
Yes,
generate
no,
rune
Roxas,
chants.
we did just get a 56 rune chant lethal. It was everything you would have thought Living Legends would be, which is degenerate and weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something.
That was a thing. So we're gonna get Chris in here actually to tell us how it looked like from his angle.
Yeah, see, tell us how he draws those rune chant generating cards better than Adam, and why he's just so good at it.
Like, how did you get the Mordred Tide, and how did you shuffle his to the bottom?
He's got 6 Mordreds in there. That's how he does it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You can ask things like, how did it feel when he sonated for 6 and drew
And drew nothing.
drew nothing?
What I wanted, yeah. Jeez, that was not the match to put on stream. I'll be honest.
I know.
I feel cheap. I only got 12 minutes to look at a game, and I'm sorry to everyone else. But Living Legends, we're here. It's the Wild West. We're
learning. We're learning.
We're figuring out what is actually degenerate, and we'll see who
Yeah.
wins.
So, obviously not the most interesting gameplay, but effective.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you saw Chris do it round 1.
Yeah, same exact thing.
And like, I don't, he had a lot of extra cards to block with every turn. Like, it didn't take him that long to get to 56 rune chance, discard your hand, and kill you. So, I mean, there's definitely something there. We have the legend here now. We'll cut to break and we'll be right back.
All right. We are back with the master of the rune chant, resident bully, Chris Iaali.
Yo.
Oops! I just kicked the camera. Anyways, so that was something else.
Yeah, very exciting.
It seems like Skeleta's still pretty busted.
Yeah, no, I think the addition of Sonata Phantasmia
Oh yeah,
is pretty insane. I won my last round like that too.
I know.
Going up
That
to
one
42
seemed more
champs.
interesting because Icelander was trying to Icelander, and you were just like, "All right, well, I'm gonna crack this," And then he tried to do a bunch of stuff, and you're like, okay, now I'm swinging for 46 with meet and greet. And
Yeah,
it's just
like all these cost reductions are so good against the frostbites.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's basically like, yeah, sure, just get rid of your cards. I'm gonna ask you to discard them anyways, and then
exactly.
that's it. So, I mean, do you think the OTK Viserai is the most degenerate Living Legend deck we have?
I'm not sure. I
No.
haven't played enough yet. I'm a little scared of Fi.
Yeah.
I think I won't be able to block them out as easy. Compared to some
Apparently,
of the
they
other decks.
killed each other off in the first round, so that might help you a
That's pretty
little
lucky,
bit.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm afraid of Fi. Starvo should be okay.
Yeah. Lexi.
Shane, I think, is good. Lexi's close. I don't think it's as bad as Fi, but it's probably close to as bad as Fi.
Okay.
And then, yeah, no, we came up with some plans for all the different matchups. And
Okay, so talking about that, are there other kind of ways that your deck can flex to match those, or is it always still just like build Rune Chance and win?
I mean, you can try to do like the mid-range strategy that was popular before Skeletal got banned, where you did have like a Marvin Sky sideboard plan, and you did like try to play Shrill and just like outvalue them that way in race. But I decided to build the deck all in on the combo this
Okay.
time, and
So,
so far so good.
in your experience, do you ever have to attack more than once? Really?
I don't think you can. I think once you pop the Fletchy Scaletta, you're all in. And
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, one is all you need, right? If it does 50 plus damage, we're kind of
exactly. Yeah.
that's there's nothing they can do. I mean, it's wild to me that Phantasmia just gets rid of all their cards too. You're like, I mean, it's funny too that card it doesn't seem great outside of this format, but in this format, it's like, yep.
Yeah, no, it feels like they're trying to push it in Classic Constructed still, like obviously printing the card and putting it in the format. It seems like they want that to be a game plan, but I tried it last ProQuest season and I didn't have much success with it.
Yeah,
so.
all right. Well, I mean, what else are you interested in seeing out of like this format specifically? This is our first Living Legends tournament. No one's really sure what actually is the best deck. Like anything you're particularly excited about seeing or learning more from?
Yeah, I think it's going to evolve, and I think certain tech cards will be played that haven't seen played in Classic Constructed yet. Like Adam was playing a list similar to mine, and he actually had the Amethyst Tiara in his deck, but he chose not to play it, and I think that's like a pretty big mirror breaker.
What does that one do again?
So it's the helmet. You crack it, and it gives all your Rune Chance Spell Void 1. And so it's good against Kano, obviously. Like all your it's basically what Rune Blood Barrier does,
Okay.
but on the helmet. And so it's like a mirror breaker in which if they combo off and you pop that, then like your Rune Chance just absorb their Rune Chance, but they comboed off, and then you get to
And then
combo
you can
off
just
later.
build up and do it.
And,
Yeah.
and they don't get to combo off again, so it's pretty interesting. But yeah, no, I think cards like I think Icelander will be strong for sure.
Hypothermia, good card.
Yeah, Hypothermia and Amulet of Ice.
Still good.
I was a little scared when I faced around one, but
Yeah, for sure. I bet.
got there.
Do you think that, I know early days, 2 rounds in, do you think they'll have to put bans in Living Legend format to make it an actual tournament ready, competition level format?
Maybe. I don't think that they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that they want to. They might. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
For sure, yeah. No, it feels like they don't want to. They want to just lean into it. But I do, just watching that game and some of the other games I kind of saw going on, some cards are just like not fun to play against because they just enable game plans that are, we just watched the game where you guys just kind of played your own little side game and then
Yeah, it
then
was
you shook hands.
not very interactive. for
So
sure.
like, I'm curious if they either find, things to ban or maybe explore like kind of changing up the format. Like maybe it's Living Legend, but they give it like a theme and it's like you can only play these heroes. So it's like more kind of like strategized against
That'd be interesting.
that kind of thing. But
I think if they maybe just like find ways to print more counterplay to all these
Yeah,
decks
that's
too.
true.
Like, how many chains are there today? Are there a lot of chains?
There's no chains.
It's because of warmongers, right? And yeah, like we tested this deck against chain, and like you just wait until they get to 8 shackles, and you play warmongers, and then you play it again, or you play Windblood Barrier, and so what do they do? I don't.
Yeah, I think Anthony told me that's what you did to him, and he was just like, "Fuck that." You know, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, if it is a format that they want to support, I'm sure that they'll start printing cards directly to that, which I think would be interesting to see. We do get a lot of cards for like UPF and Blitz specific, so it would be interesting to see them print cards that might be not worthwhile in CC, but really impactful in Living
Something
Legend.
like a master set or something like that from Magic. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it. It definitely, to me, this feels more hype than a meta after a new set, just because it's like, I don't know, there's just like a lot of memories attached to all these heroes.
Oh yeah.
So I think it'll be fun to see how it kind of evolves over the next couple months leading into Worlds. Are you going to Worlds?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm excited. I can't wait.
I mean, of course, you got second. You should try to hold that up. What am I talking about? But it's in Barcelona. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
The Living Legend they're doing there is just for the Battle Hardened, right?
Yeah,
think
it's
it is,
just
yeah.
Battle Hardened Living Legend.
So hopefully you don't have to play in that because you'll be doing really well at Worlds.
Exactly. That's the plan.
What are your thoughts about Worlds? Do you have a plan? Are you looking at any new heroes? Do you not want to share anything? Do you want to psyops anybody right now? Just tell them the wrong information.
I really want Dash.io to be good.
Yeah,
Still trying to figure it out.
for sure.
And I don't know, it's been kind of tough, like, because a lot of our group isn't going to Barcelona, and so we're testing for ProQuest season, and the meta for ProQuest season in Worlds is going to be way different, right? Like, assuming that Lexi's gone.
Yeah,
or
totally.
Lexi and possibly even Icelander. We'll see what happens in Taipei and Dallas.
Totally,
But,
yeah. Because Taipei, she could technically break it, right? I think if she goes,
she has to win all the callings, I think.
she has to win all the calling.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, if she wins every calling, then I think that she'll Icelander will LL also. But Lexi is basically a for sure at this point. And
Yeah.
so the metas are going to be different. So it's like hard to test for Worlds when
Yeah.
you're trying to test for ProQuest Season 2. So we'll see. I don't know. I want Dash.io to be good.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Dash.io because I also think it's really fun. Like, honestly, just looking at your top card is very fun.
Yeah.
And I'm into that. I wasn't good at playing it in limited, but just the act of doing that seems very cool. And then you could play it at instant, which is like a wizard thing. So I'm into it. What kind of cards or kind of builds are you looking at in Dash.io to kind of see if it's viable?
Pretty aggressive boost strategy. Playing things like Toma Findel to make use of your extra action points. It's so I believe it was Levi Rauch and Sam and what's her name? Cosplayer, Dash cosplayer. Dated all. Do you know her name? They were playing it last weekend at the Battle Hardened, and I think they did okay, and they've been talking about the results in the Purple Discord, and I really like their baseline of a list.
Okay.
And so something similar to that. It's just pretty aggressive and boosting, playing items off the top to get extra action points and lots of extra value. So
Nice. What items seem like the best so far?
I mean, obviously the boom grenades are
Yeah.
insane when you hit them off the top.
Yeah.
But the most impressive item to me that I didn't expect was backup protocol, the red one.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah.
you just play it, you crank it, you get an extra action point, you get back your best red attack. Like it turns all your blues into your best red attacks, and so it's been impressive.
Nice. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see if she's got something cooking there. Feels like Teklo might not be, even though I'm hoping just because I don't know. It seems fun to build into a mech the whole time, and then singularity into some crazy shit. But it feels like you're also just gonna boost that card away every single game.
Well, it's nice that you get to see the top card, so you know you're not gonna boost it, or you can like try to plan around boosting it, right? Or
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
it looks like chat got us. It was Rachel Max Ferocity. That's who I was thinking of. That also played Dash.io last weekend.
Thanks, chat. Dennis the Tall, Drifter Comic, y'all were great. All right, so yeah, I mean, I think today is going to be a very interesting day. I I was joking that whoever got the bye round 1 was going to win, but it was Adam, so you just already ruined that for me. But that's fine. I think
He's still in it.
yeah. I mean, everybody's still in it. We just gotta keep doing well. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm curious to see how Lexi, with only just like the additional band bullseye bracers, can do into this cracked.
Evan won round
format.
1, right?
Evan won round 1. It wasn't
Yeah.
handily, but it was close, and he did it. Bryce had a great game against Anthony on Breyer, but Anthony was able to get there in the end. But yeah, she still seems very strong and can
Yeah.
hold her own in this format, which is pretty telling about how her power level is.
I'd be interested to see if she goes back to more of like an ice strategy in this format too, since she gets back.
It seemed at least
Bryce's.
Bryce's. I didn't see Evan's deck because I was watching the other game, but Bryce definitely had more ice stuff going on, and I think that was good until he had to block more, and then
Right, true,
and then
yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be blocking too much in this format unless your deck's built for it.
Yeah, for sure. Matt Vore in the chat asking, how does Dash do into Bravo?
We're working on it.
TBD. We'll let you know next time. That's that's fair.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out how to get around these decks that are trying to block you and fatigue you when you're on the boost strategy, but I think there's a way.
Yeah, nice. Well, just backup protocols. Just get all your cards back.
Right.
We'll do it. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. I think we definitely had a time watching your game.
Yeah. The other matchups will be more interesting.
I think so. I mean, I was watching your. I turned around and you're just like you doing some stuff, and he was trying to stop you, and I was just like, oh shit, what's going on here? And then it was just like trying to count all your rune chants. I was like, oh, I think he's got it. But as someone who used to play OTK Viserai, there is a fun to it. It's just not as always fun for the.
Just not as interactive.
Yeah, not as interactive.
I mean, I made them discard 3 cards.
You did, yeah. That's true, and you took 1 damage at one point too. Yeah. So like, there was some give and take.
I had to turn on my skull cap.
Yeah, we started the game and it was like, oh look, this is very interesting. Adam's running Crown of Providence and not the Skull Cap, and he's got the Vexing Quill Hand and not Grass, and the Ornate Tessin. Maybe he's trying to do this, and it's just like, no, they're just gonna build Rune.
Yeah, the Tessins. We were talking about it before when we were sideboarding because our lists are pretty similar, and I didn't know if Tessin was better than Vexing because our hands get so clunky, and like using Tessin to potentially unclunk one of your hands could be really big. I think he whipped on it still.
Yeah, that plus his Sonata. That was like that triggered me so hard because I was like, yeah, I remember playing against Starvo and just being like, all right, I got 18 rune chance. I'm gonna Skeletor into Sonata, and I draw 1 card.
Yeah, Sonata always reveals the defense reactions. You should know that.
Dude.
So.
Always, and you needed them to just live long enough to get to your combo.
Yeah.
Starvo's great, he's just out here having fun. I should have played him while I had the chance.
Yeah.
But might not be the most cracked deck. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm curious to see what Charles came up with. I saw he was still playing like pummels in his list and stuff. So.
True, yeah. I did not know that national champion Charles Dunn is out here. Maybe we'll get him on stream.
Yeah.
I heard he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a strong player.
Nice, awesome. Well, thanks, Chris. Good luck on the rest of your day, and we'll keep an eye out for you.
Sounds good.
We'll be back in a little bit.